So in today's episode, I have a hidden gem. Nobody knows about this guy. He spent over $250 million on Google and YouTube on e-commerce brands. And he's unheard of. He's like a fucking Batman in this world. But today, he's on the show. He's gonna unleash all the secret sauce on how you can scale your brand, whether you're spending $5 a day or $10 a day. He's gonna give you the tactical advice, the playbook, the easiest way to scale your account on Google and YouTube today. So make sure you watch this till the end, because he leaves some stuff until the end, because he likes to get people engaged. You're gonna enjoy this one. Bruno, thanks for joining me, man.
Thank you, man, for having me here.
I can't wait to dive in, because you spend a shitload of money. I think YouTube is a bit of an enigma for a lot of brands, especially e-commerce brands. They can't get it to work. So I want to do a bit of a deep dive on how brands can enter YouTube, but your specialty is in Google and YouTube. So talk us through, if you're an e-commerce brand, you're scaling on Facebook, you're looking maybe to open up a new channel, right? But you do have constraints. You have constraints in terms of team, like resources and stuff like that. Where would you go? Where's like the lowest hanging fruit? Where would you optimize first?
Yeah, so thinking in Google Ads in general, obviously, like I already mentioned with Marin, like you should definitely cover like search, shopping, especially if you have like product, like you should definitely have like shopping campaigns. And YouTube comes into that place because you cannot scale anything on Google Ads beside like YouTube.
Yeah.
So coming into that, like I would say the easiest entry point is just like using what they were working on a Facebook,
Yeah.
and start, like launching on a YouTube. If offer is too aggressive, if ads are too aggressive, you're probably gonna come up to like some compliance issues, like disapprovals and all that. So I guess having like editor that can, like adjust these Facebook creatives for the YouTube.
Yeah, talk more about that, because that's an interesting thing. Like, what needs to be changed to be compatible for you? So I know that we take existing creatives and put them on YouTube. Our hit rate is so low because we're not actually putting the time and effort to make YouTube friendly. So what can we do to improve that?
Yeah, so two ways. Let's say like compliance wise, like if you are getting everything disapproved,
Yeah.
it's mostly because of some claims that you are making in your copy, or some footages that are sensitive, like close-up footages of like skin, whatever, like. So that's easily adjusted. Like Google can provide like they're able to provide you with like somehow detailed feedback about why your ad is actually disapproved, and they can pinpoint like lines or like footages that you can edit and work on that. So this is one thing. The second thing would be like, in general, like, yeah, obviously if you are not just reusing Facebook ads, the next level would be just thinking about YouTube like from the like beginning. It's not too different from the Facebook, but
So where do you think brands go wrong then? Where do they fuck up?
yeah, I mean,
They're just not thinking YouTube first, and they're just copying creatives over.
yeah, there can be one thing, but lately I'm seeing like really a bunch of like guys that are crushing on Facebook are like having same success on YouTube with same ads. But again, like first and major difference is like format. Like no one does like 16:9 format for the Facebook,
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that you need to think about when coming to the YouTube.
Are you doing more shorts or horizontal?
Both,
Both.
because yeah, shorts are the big thing, like you should do it definitely, but you're limited. Like YouTube won't show your ad if it's longer than 60 seconds. Sure, it can sometimes it can pass, but mostly it won't, So you need to optimize for shorts having like less than 60 seconds. I saw like people doing just like hook plus call to action without, and just like, driving people to the advertorial quiz funnels, like
cheap CPC.
super cheap. Yeah, exactly like that. And when you want to cover like TVs and desktop devices, obviously need to have like 16:9 format and more these like, how I would say, like polished, brandish, like creatives, putting more dedication to quality of the video, because
Quality matters on also on Facebook.
Exactly, 100%.
And why do you think that is? Because the content they're watching on YouTube is at a higher level.
Exactly.
They expect to seeing that, and then they have a heuristic in their mind. It's like a psychological shortcut, thinking that this video isn't worthy of a click because of that.
Exactly, explain it well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because you won't watch on a YouTube like video in 480, like anymore. So
dodgy ad. Yeah. So what do brands do? I mean, like, at what point in your experience, like you spent $250 million, what are the brands that are doing well on YouTube? Are they spending huge amounts on Facebook, or are they more focused on YouTube first as an acquisition channel?
Yeah, I would say like still Facebook is king, and like 90% of people are dependent on Facebook, and YouTube for most of them comes secondary. But you know, like I I think that you have like same opportunity with YouTube to even start with YouTube like first. So all kinds of creators can work. Like lately, I'm seeing like UGCs are crushing, man. Like they're working great on a short, like the best that like based on shorts. Like also, yeah, but also in stream, regular in feed and in stream are UGCs are crushing. Short VSL, even long VSL. I'm still running like 40 minutes long like VSLs, and it's yeah. So I would say like everything can work, but I always like prioritize having these like VSLs and UGCs. These are like two things to.
So you have a brand that's spending whatever 10, 20, 30K a month on Facebook, even 5K a month on Facebook. What's the playbook to go to YouTube? What's the account structure? What should they do with the existing ads? Should they test exactly one for one what they have currently in the ad account, and how they structure it?
Just YouTube?
Yeah, so you're going from Facebook to YouTube. What's the playbook?
Yeah. So I would just pick the winning creatives that you already have on Facebook. You don't want to go and just like start testing creatives that maybe didn't perform well on Facebook. So obviously you want to prioritize. Prioritize these like winning ads from Facebook. Start rolling with that. Test these creatives in isolations on a broad, you know, like sure, if you are super niche, you know, like offer, then it makes sense to go a bit, you know, like narrow with targeting, with custom segments and custom audiences. You know, you can create just like, let's say if you're ChatGPT, whatever, like, or like Replit, you know, like,
Yeah.
so I ran and audit some account that's like competitor of them. And what they do is they like, most success they come is like going narrow, you know, because it's not for everybody, it's for business owners mostly, you know, like they want to create like custom solutions for, you know, like team and everything. So yeah, narrow, but okay, so you choose the Facebook winner, test it in isolation, one campaign, one ad group, broad demo, choose the best demographics. Just don't go broad like 18 to 65 plus.
Right, okay.
Just go from the best performing demographics.
Based on what's working on Facebook.
Exactly, man. So do that. That's the first thing. Start building up. Start working on new creatives. Start, you know, like adjusting like for this 16 by 9. Obviously, you won't have this 16 by 9 immediately, but what you can do is just use this 4 by 5 or 9 by 16 and blur the sides, or just put like, I don't know, black background in the middle, so that Google, YouTube reads them as like 16 by 9, so they prioritize like desktop devices and all that.
Seeing that work as an ad format, or do you do that just to get an indication as to what could work, and then you go and produce a proper system?
Sure, obviously, like yeah, just to get sense what can work. Next step is like always when launching on a YouTube, try having like both formats, vertical, horizontal, even this square format or 4 by 5, because like you just want to be fully optimized for all devices and all placements. So yeah, just thinking like, even when thinking about the Facebook ads, like start thinking that you're gonna need 16 by 9 format in the beginning, because it's harder to, you know, like use your winning ad, record all over again, and like it's just pain in the ass.
That's a good tip. That's what we've been starting doing. Our creative side just films everything in 16 by 9, and then we cut it into 9 by 16 serials. So then you've got already. All right, cool. So playbook, copy what's working on Facebook, very simple ad account structure. The only thing you want to optimize for is the age groups that you, I guess, are favorable on Facebook.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And then once you get indication, you can double down on those creatives, maybe produce higher.
Expand targeting, you know, yeah.
Cool. So what about the creatives? You have a lot of insight into creatives. You've seen so many. You mentioned the great one before, just like hook and CTA. Is there anything else besides maybe UGC that you've seen that works and gives people ideas?
Yeah, I mean, it's not many different from the Facebook, you know.
So why are people so scared of YouTube? Why is there this stigma around fucking YouTube? Is it because maybe the attribution doesn't look good in the back?
Yeah, that's the one big
That's
thing.
one big thing.
Yeah.
Whereas understand attribution better, so then they're prepared to spend more because they understand, you know, they've got holdout test or whatever.
Exactly. Most successful brands, you know, like that I worked with or just audited or like no, they're doing fine. Like they almost always have way lower target ROAS, you know, like for the YouTube than for Facebook because they know that the incrementality of the YouTube is way bigger than it's from the Facebook. Yeah.
House did a test. I think you know House, the House they do holdout tests. You heard of them?
No.
Because it's a company that does holdout tests. We use them a little bit. Essentially, if you do a test inside YouTube, you can isolate certain states in the US, and then you advertise in those states, and then you see how incremental those states were.
Yeah.
Like isolate anyway. And we did a test. It wasn't so incremental for us, but as a company, they said YouTube was ridiculous on how incremental it was for all the other businesses in their ecosystem. That's just severely underperforming inside the ad account in terms of what people see.
Yeah, because you know, like still a bunch of people are not choosing to click from the ad on a YouTube. They would just go and search it on a Google, or they would get like retargeted on other placements, other campaigns. And YouTube, like, yeah, I mean, we stopped like even having that discussion and like justifying ourselves to clients like with that. But big players know that they can allow a bit lower ROAS on a YouTube that they can like.
What's the cost per? What's the cost per like view? Like for the first, like YouTube only charges you once you view the certain percentage, right?
No, it's not true. They are charging you straight away. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my fuck up. But yeah, I think when I look at our YouTube metrics, I look at the cost per, I don't know, 1 minute, 1 minute, or cost per 30 seconds, and it's a lot cheaper than on other platforms. And I'm prepared to pay that price day in, day out because it's just a lot cheaper to get a consumer to view that whole video. And I think that's a metric we can currently, you know, identify and attribute to certain sales, but it's just holistically, you have to think that it's doing something in the background.
Yeah. I think the Facebook offers way more detailed report into, you know, like video metrics than YouTube offers. You know, but when I'm thinking about it, obviously after, you know, like hitting the targets of ROAS or CPA, you know, like the next would be like, let's say AOV, you know, like, because not all creatives are, you know, like, especially if you're having more products, you know, like whatever, like we saw that like creatives that, you know, like start producing low AOV results, they tend to follow that trend, you know, and vice versa. So AOV would be like next indicator for us. And after it, you know, like you guys do, like conversion rate, click-through rate, and CPM.
Yeah.
That's the thing to, you know, yeah.
So it's more around, the reason why people don't find success on YouTube, it's more limiting belief around what YouTube can do for their business than anything. It's just a belief that they've created in their mind that it's not incremental based on certain attribution settings they're seeing. They're thinking that needs really some specific standout creative, which is not the true as well because Facebook can work. Does that be fair?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard, you know, like the attribution is like the hardest thing in our industry. So it's really hard when people, you know, like see ad, not click, engage in any shape or form besides just like having impression of it and viewing it, you know, and connecting that view to, I don't know, less attributed click from Facebook. It's really hard, you know, like actual tipping point. All these like solutions like, you know, like third-party tracking softwares are providing some more detail, like not detail, some more clarity. You should use it as another source of truth, not as a like one source of truth. You know, so I'm always checking both. Sometimes, you know, I would see in Triple Whale or whatever, you know, like solution I'm using, like that campaign or creative, let's say campaign, is not doing that well, but platform itself, Google, shows like really great results. So I'm always like obviously prioritizing the backend and third-party software, but when I see that, like that Google like attributing like way more sales like in platform, I use that as signal as well, because it's not that something's there, man. So, you know, you shouldn't ignore it.
You use post-purchase surveys as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Survey is a great indicator as well. We can cross-reference where they're actually coming from. We constantly use that as a source of reference, you know. But let's go back to quickly Google and finish on that. You know, shopping is a key one, I think, for e-commerce. Is there any key things that people are not doing they should be doing in terms of their shopping campaigns that you've found success with?
Yeah. So usually, you know, like people just tend to launch like one product in Merchant Center, you know, and just put one headline description and then never touch it, you know. So what I suggest is just like you can create a bunch of same products in your merchant center, playing around with different headlines, playing around with different images, you know, like that's where actually, you know, like shopping skill comes in place and like performance comes from. So you need to keep that testing mindset on shopping because people are lazy. They just, you know, like take these 1-2 products they have like in a merchant center and they rely purely on it. Yeah. So you can play, yeah, around with it.
Have you done anything around blogs? So I know people are creating blogs and advertising these blogs to get cheaper CPCs. Have you done anything around that?
No, like
Zero, it's
yeah.
yeah. Hard and Soil are doing it, and a couple other brands.
Yeah, and then I don't know much
Right.
about it.
So in terms of, you know, if an e-commerce brand is looking to expand on channels, you know, they're doing it on Facebook, would you go to shopping first and then YouTube? And then like, where would you prioritize?
It's different game, you know,
Search, shopping and YouTube. Like, where would you go first?
search.
Search.
I mean, you want to pick the all lowest hanging fruits, man.
And that's
People like, let's say Cure,
Yeah.
you know, like people are Googling for LED masks.
Yeah.
You want to be present every time that someone Google it.
Yeah.
So obviously you cannot scale because like that's like certain amount of people who will today Google it, you know, but you should cover pretty much as you can there.
Okay.
So that's search, prospecting, and shopping, you know, because you want to cover
And
both.
what about the creators and the funnels? Like, are you creating specific funnels based on specific keywords? Like, how hyper segmented and hyper niched are you going with these landing pages?
Yeah, so it's really hard to, let's say, like, I mean, it's not really hard, but okay, let's start like this. Like, advertorial funnels can work very well for like a bit long tail keywords, you know. So for Cure Skin, an example, you know, there'll be people who will just like type like LED mask,
Yeah.
and there will be people like how LED therapy helped my skin.
Got it.
You know, so optimizing. So how I would do it is like create a bunch of advertorials, pretty much the same content on it. The main difference would be the headline and subheadline. You know,
It's great advice.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not super scalable, but you want to cover it as much as you can.
And then based on the keywords, can you do that dynamically? Is there any technology you can do that dynamically where the keywords change dynamically the headlines or not really?
For advertorial headlines, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm probably something existing, but I'm not aware of it right now.
Amazing. So give us one last juicy piece of info that you think can help the viewers out there, you know? In terms of e-commerce, you're building your brand. What would you be doing? What's a little hack, little tip?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, like a lot of people are ignoring these advertorials on a search traffic, you know, because with all these long tail keywords, you want to cover like everything from that. Also testing listicles, like, you know, like also, you know, having another account, it's a bit gray area, but having another account and having like these fake review pages, this is still working, you know, like for some brands. It's not like for everybody, but you can do it, especially if you affiliate. Yeah. So things like that. Long format VSL, still working. You know, John Belcher said like a couple years ago that prolonging funnels, you know, can drive great success for you, even though it don't make sense on the front, you know. So people think that you need to cut, you know, like pet, you know, the customer to get cheaper traffic, to, you know, like increase conversion rate and all that. But what I saw lately is like, you can have like advertorial plus maybe quiz funnel, or you don't need to go crazy as that, but you can go like pre-sale and then quiz funnel, you know. So just be creative, just test things out of the box. Like lately I saw like success with Ed. I need to shout out to, actually I want to shout out him because everybody will copy him, but yeah, he was, the client of mine was genius for that, like just thinking like how he can prolong the funnel.
Yeah.
Even though it makes sense, people drop off, but conversion rates raise because all the people that comes to the checkout page,
That's all.
yeah, exactly.
Amazing. So to recap, start Google search, create some advertorials around long-term keywords, listicles to try and create a funnel that's more relevant to people searching it to convince them to buy, because you don't have any creative, right? You can't have a video, so an advertorial is like maybe a piece of creative on Facebook, right? It's giving them a bit more context and story. And then second thing, shopping, duplicate the things in the Merchant Center, split test headlines and images. Don't be fucking lazy. Do the work.
Exactly.
The first step is go to YouTube, launch whatever you've done on Facebook, simple ad account structure, just change the demographics and age groups, and that should see you well on your way to scaling.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. And then like I told Mar, like as soon as you unlock it, man, there's other platforms that you can leverage with your video ads.
Yeah, I don't want to
So-
say everyone yet, but I know he's cracking now Rumble. What else?
Newsbreak, Rumble, AppLovin, some other AppLovin competitors like doing, but yeah.
Same. Both. Amazing.
Thank you, man.
You guys want to look him up on LinkedIn. He's fairly booked out, but I'm sure you can take on a couple more clients. There's always room for them. But Bruno, you're legends.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You're hearing me.
Time.